I love checks. But not that I'm working with checks right now. I would probably work it with summer. But I love checks. When I did costumes, like say Dil To Pagal Hai, for example, that chiffon, they were all over. But in a film, I can't control it because it's been done in a film. But in my mainstream, when I see that being done, there are now measures that are opening up that we can take, and we plan to take that as a brand. Yeah.
So I personally want to know that fashion designing collections have, they are restricted to a niche crowd and not everybody can afford it because of the cost also. So do you think it's the right approach because not everyone can buy the collections, so it's limited to the particular set of crowd?
Well, not everybody's getting married. So, I mean, everything is kind of niche eventually. And it also depends on the brand. For example, it would not be fair if you had a breath brand, which is very ready to wear, and that's not price conscious, but that is because that's marketed to be available to everybody. But these are like wedding clothes. I make evening wear clothes, and that excites me as a designer. Celebrated clothes. So I'm just following something that I am true to.
And do you believe in people becoming fashion police and start, judging people on the way they look, in terms of what they're wearing? So.
See, the thing is, I think it's democracy. Everybody has a right to say what they want to say or feel what they say. If you're asking me personally, I've never really made personal comments on any social media because I'm not that person. Even if I have to say something to an actor or to a bride where I feel it's not working, I have a way of saying it. But social media is there and there's a lot of opinions floating. Sometimes I'm fascinated, how do they have so much time? But maybe they do, I don't know.
How would you like to dress, say, a bride of today? What is Manish Malhotra look for a bride of today?
Well, Manish Malhotra's look of a bride today is a bride who's very confident, a bride who owns up her look, owns her, she owns that space, she owns her sensuality, she owns who she is. I think my clothes are very Indian and yet a bit modern. There's a lot of global fashion influence in them, and that's what she also likes. She wants to be traditional, exactly like me. I'm very Indian at heart. I love Indian food. I love everything Indian, but I like that little mix of global because, like, for the first time when I did this time Miss India for the crowning round, my first thing was that why can't we make the clothes Indian? Because she's called Miss India. And our Indian clothes are becoming so luxurious they've always been, very rich in textile and cultured and embroideries and everything, but they're getting very glamorous, and they're not short of any international garment, and they loved it and it looked beautiful on stage. So I think that for me, my bride would be somebody who's traditional and yet modern, and
What do you think about work ethics and which ethics do you follow while working in this industry?
But I just mentioned to you that I'm very commitment prone.
Yeah.
I'm time conscious. If I commit to something, I do it. Even if money becomes absolutely secondary, and I think for me, that's the most important work ethic of respecting, each other. And in my organization and me as a person, I mean, think of it that I'm designing and making clothes for a lot of actors since 27 years. Even my association with Karan is from 22 years. So it's not friendship. It's not an actor's not going to really work with you because you're their friend. Because I'm yet delivering. In fact, just recently, one of my new assistants was giving a fitting to Sri Devi. And she said, whenever I'm giving a fitting to Sri Devi, she's so confident about you that you will deliver. So that faith people have in me, and to keep up that faith, trust me, it's a lot of extra hours of work.
And how would you describe your personal style?
Well, my personal style is not there. It's really simple. It's almost wrong. It's always black because I'm always feeling
That's what
fat.
I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
About black and about checks.
Yeah, because I'm feeling fat every time. Ek to I overeat. Like I just said this afternoon, the food in Chandigarh is so fantastic. So how do you remain so slim? I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, I'm so, I love the food. So I eat.
That's why you wear black.
That's why I wear black. So I feel thinner.
And what about checks? Because
I feel like a boy then. Luckily, my hair hasn't grayed as yet, thanks to my mother, because she's got really nice black hair. So, at my heart, I'm yet a boy.
Manish, just two questions.
Just two.
A few styling tips you invariably end up giving your brides. And when it comes to styling, where do Indian women go wrong?
I think Indian women go wrong sometimes in overdoing it. There's a lot more makeup, there's so much jewelry, there are absolutely embellished blouses. So it's kind of, just becomes too much. So I always feel that when there's a beautiful piece of necklace, maybe your top portion can be more plainer. Let the necklace take over, and maybe your sleeves can be embroidered, maybe your drape can have something more delicate. Then sometimes I think makeup, which can get very hard and loud. Again, I feel if your color of your outfit is really bright and there's so much of embellishment on it, you can go a little more lesser on makeup. Not so less that you look pale, but so I think it's that balance. But I have to say this: I think a lot of brides are getting it right now. I guess there's also so much. Listen, 2 years ago, not even that long ago, there wasn't that much information. Today you have your world on your phone. Even for me, I mean, at one point, this is on my phone. This is somebody's phone. At one point, you kind of imagine you're strolling, you're looking at somebody's work, you're looking at my work, for example, and the next picture you're seeing is an international designer. So somewhere, for you, you are being exposed to great finish, great embroidery, fabulous color, international educated craftsmanship, and you're seeing my work. So you're not going to, in your mind, make that excuse, oh, but he lives here, so maybe he could compromise. I can't. So it pushes you to even do better and be a little more accurate, which is great, I think. Which is.
You did the Fulkari collection.
She has a second question to finish.
I think she's done the second.
Two are done? Okay, great.
You did a Fulkari collection.
That's
and,
right.
The Fulkari was actually sourced from a friend, I believe, from Patiala. Is Punjab going to be on the mood board anytime soon?
So actually I did this whole, I saw a lot of Fulkari, then I did a lot of embroidery inspired by Fulkari. That was about 3 years ago I did a fashion show. And the Museum of Philadelphia saw that show and they really liked it. And then I did a new collection for the museum. So I like the amalgamation of color. I'm very color drawn. And of course, yes, Punjab is an inspiration. Absolutely.
According to you, who is the most stylish person in the Bollywood?
Mr. Bachchan. I think Shah Rukh. I think he carries black so well and suits and everything. I think the youngsters really know what they're doing.